Right, here we go. Right, hello there everybody and welcome to today's video. And today I want to talk about how to have an 80s Christmas. But first of all, I want to say a massive thank you to each and every one of you who's watched my reel on Instagram. Over 425,000 people has watched that video. And I just wanted to say a massive thank you to each and every one of you who's commented, liked and shared my reel and mentioned me and everything else. Well, I've now finally got myself another job at I can't remember the name, but it's only a small hotel, 43 rooms, and also yeah, it's a boutique hotel, 43 rooms, and actually it was my friend Attila who rang me up, who I worked with at the Welbeck Hotel for a week, and he thought of me for this role. So yes, so a massive thank you. So on with today's video. How to have an 80s Christmas. Well, first of all, you need the tins of sweets. Now, we've all noticed over the years that the tins have turned into tubs, and they've got smaller and smaller and smaller, but yet they charge more and more. This one, on the other hand, cost me about 25 quid on TikTok. Yes, I know, and if my mum's here, she'll be having a go at me and cursing at me and still take the tin of chocolates, you know. So, yeah. And of course, there's the roses. And yes, she'll be having these ones as well. And so, yeah, strange thing, it's not circular anymore. And so, yeah, roses. Yeah, there's that. And of course, not forgetting, when having an 80s Christmas, you've got to have the family circle, the biscuits. So yeah, there's only one set of biscuits you've always got to have on over Christmas, and that is, especially during the 80s, it's always family circle. And of course, when you've got all them, there's all the other little bits that go with it as well. You've got the Turkish Delights and the Terry's chocolate oranges, the toffee. This was always in our house over Christmas. And of course, this one is my absolute favourite, especially over Christmas. Coffee creams, love them. So yeah. Then there was also, sorry, little quake there. I was just trying to find space for it all. There was also the nuts that my dad used to have every year. Any other time of the year, you never saw them, but Christmas time, the walnuts used to come out. All the nuts and everything, and the KP nuts and all that stuff. And so yeah, you had all that stuff, and then you had all the crisps, and you had Jacob's cream crackers, and so yeah, there was all that stuff as well went with it. There was also the TV times and the radio times and blank tapes, and you used to circle what was on. You used to circle what you were going to watch, and you know, and everything else. This year, I've got this year's TV times this year. So I'm going to share with you in a moment what's on. But 40 years ago, on Christmas Eve on BBC One, was, and I know I've done this before in a previous video, and what we were watching, Christmas 1985 and 86, I think it was. So you can look back at that. We had, the day started on Christmas Eve, CFAX at 6 o'clock. You had breakfast time at 6:50. Then 9:20, the day started off with The Littlest Hobo. The Hunter at 9:45. Play Chess at 9:50. Charlie Brown, it's probably the Charlie Brown Christmas special, on at 10 a.m. Magic Roundabout at 10:25. Play Score at 10:30. Tom and Jerry at 10:50. Charles in Charge at 11:05. See Here at 11:30. Junior Kickstart at 12:20. Then there was the news and weather at 12:20. 1 o'clock was A Song for Christmas. Mr. Ben at 1:45. The Christmas Eve film for that afternoon was at 2 o'clock, and it was called The Slipper and the Rose. Keith and Orville's Christmas special was at 4:20. Carols for Kings was at 5 o'clock. News was at 6. Then you had Jim will Fix It for Christmas at 6:55. Then you had Telly Addicts. Does everyone remember Telly Addicts? That was always a stable part of Christmas. I think it was up until 1998. I can't be sure. But obviously the only reason they don't show it is because they can't pay the little amounts of money, or the amount of money they pay for the clips they show. EastEnders, of course, EastEnders was big that year. That was the year 40 years ago that it started. Of course, it celebrated its 40th anniversary this year. That was at 7:30. You had the Kenny Everett Christmas Carol at 8 o'clock. Question of Sport at 8:30. Then you had the News and Weather. Oh no, that was followed by Terry and June at 9. Then you had the News and Weather. 9:45 was Cagney and Lacey. Val Doonican's Christmas Party was at 9. Was at 10:30. Then at 11:20 the Good Life Christmas Special. Then that was followed by at 11:50 was the First Communion of Christmas. Then at 10 to 1 in the morning was Weather. Then it was followed by the close down at 5 to 1. Over on ITV, you had Good Morning Britain. Then at 9:25 it was Thames and News, followed by Fraggle Rock. 10:50 was Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. The Night Before Christmas was at 10 a.m. The film at 10:05 was Never Neverland. 12:30 in the afternoon was God Bless Us Everyone. News at 1 o'clock. Thames News at 1:20. Close Encounters of the Third Kind special edition was at 1:30. Then that was followed by the Wind in the Willows. Does everyone remember that Wind in the Willows, that little clay animation that was voiced by David Jason and I think it was Michael Hordern? The song to that was so beautiful, and the whole thing was just, yeah, I really loved that. Then that was followed at 4:20 by Splash Into Christmas. Knight Rider at 10 to 5. That was followed by the News at 5:45. Thames News at 6. Help at 6:25. Carry On Laughing at 7 o'clock. Who's Baby at 7:30. The Best of Morecambe and Wise at 8 o'clock. Because Eric Morecambe died the year before that, so they're all bringing out all their best of specials and all that kind of stuff. Arthur at 9 o'clock. 10:45 ITN News. That was followed by Carols from Christchurch at 11 o'clock. The Midnight Mass at 11:30, and that was followed at 12:30 in the morning. Close down. Meanwhile, over on Christmas Day, CFAX at 8 a.m, Play School at 8:35, Muppet Babies at 8:35. Oh no, 8:55. Sorry. Knock Knock at 9:20. This Is the Day at 9:35. The No Mobile at 10:05. Roland's Yuletide Binge at 11:30. Sorry about that. The Noel Edmonds Live Christmas Breakfast Show at 11:55. 2 o'clock was Top of the Pops. The Queen was at 3. The Children's Royal Variety Performance is at 3:10. All Creatures Great and Small was at 4:55. That was followed by the News at 6:25 in the evening. Heidi Ho was at 6:30 in the evening. Oh, that was on for an hour. Then it was followed by the Only Fools and Horses special to Hull and Back at 7:30. 9 o'clock the Two Ronnies. News at 10 to 10. Wogan at 10 o'clock. Film Absence of Malice at 20 to 11. At 25 to 1 in the morning was all the weather. Then at 20 to 1 in the morning was Close Down. That was the year, and I remember this, That was the year I got my first computer, Acorn Electron. I absolutely loved it. I love Pac-Man, which reminds me of another thing I bought on TikTok. That computer game thingy that you stick into the back of your telly. I haven't had a chance to play it yet. I've been so busy looking for another job, and it plays all these games, and I've actually got Pac-Man on there. So if I get a chance, I'll let you all know, and I'll play it, and I'll let you all know about it. Then, and on Christmas Day on ITV was at 1985. TVAM Good Morning Britain, Christmas Fraggle Rock at 9:25, 10 to 10 Danger Mouse, 10 a.m. was Christmas morning service, 11 a.m. was Disney at Christmas. Oh, we all remember all the Disney Christmas specials. We all remember all those wonderful little Disney cartoons they used to show. Then at 11:15 was The Black Hole, another Disney classic. At 1 o'clock was Jim Davison's Top Pop Videos of '85. The Royal Year was at 2 o'clock. The Queen at 3. Yeah, and of course you had the James Bond film on every year. Moonraker was this one's. The ITN News was at 5:30. Name That Tune at 20 to 6. Then that was followed by Coronation Street at 10 past 6. Freshfields Christmas Special at 6:45. 7:30 Minder on the Orient Express was at 7:30. Des O'Connor's Night at 9:30. That was followed by the news at 20 to 11. Gregory's Gale was followed 10 minutes later at 10 to 11. Then at 12:30 in the morning, Christmas Night Thoughts. Then that was followed closely at 20 to 1 in the morning by Close Down. This year, honestly, this year, I'm going to do the usual throwing the thing at the back, you know. On BBC One, on Christmas Eve, 6 o'clock, breakfast, 9:15, CBeebies Panto Cinderella, 10:20, Pudsey and the Thread of Hope animation, 10:45, Puss in Boots, I've never seen that, Minions is at 12:05, 1:30, BBC News at 1, Shaun that's closely followed at 5 to 2, Shaun the Sheep, The Flight Before Christmas, 2:25, Wallace and Gromit, A Close Shave. Then at 5 to 3, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. 10 is the news. 5:20 is the regional news. 5:30 is Paddington. Then of course 6:55 is EastEnders. 7:25 is the Great British Sewing Bee, Celebrity Christmas Special. Then Gavin and Stacey, the finale at 8:25. 10 o'clock, two Doors Down Christmas Special. 10:35 news. 10:50 Gavin and Stacey, A Fond Farewell. Then that's followed by 10 to midnight Mass from Our Lady of the English Martyrs, Cambridge. Then it goes on at 1:05, The Hit List. 1:50 Weather for the Week Ahead. Then at 1:55 to 6 o'clock in the morning, BBC News. Meanwhile, over on ITV on Christmas Eve, you had The Doghouse at Christmas, 7:05. That's Channel 4. Sorry, my apologies. That sounds actually a lot better than ITV one does, but let's do ITV one. 6 o'clock, Good Morning Britain. Lorraine is at 9. This Morning is at 10. Seriously, really? ITV, come on, get a grip. You've got to do better than this, seriously. Then that's followed closely by Loose Women at 12:30 on Christmas Eve. Oh, lordy. And they say telly... 1:35 E.T. 3:45 Santa Claus the Movie. It's not bad on afternoon. 5:50 is the news. 5:55 is the Chase Celebrity Christmas Special. 6:55 is Emmerdale. The Royal Carols Together at Christmas. 7:25. 8:40 is Coronation Street. Love Actually is at 9:10. Then at 11:40 is Christmas Carols on ITV. 12:40 Steve Backshaw's Royal Arctic Challenge. Then at 2:30 in the morning is the Rugby Union Premier Unleashed. 3:50 to 6 o'clock, It's a Wonderful Life. Why they stuck it on, it's not so much A Wonderful Life if they're sticking it on at bloody that time of the bloody morning. Then, on Christmas Day, 6 o'clock on BBC One, breakfast. 9 o'clock, The Snail and the Whale. 9:30, Stickman. 10 o'clock, Christmas morning service from Bradford Cathedral. 11 o'clock, Bluey's Christmas Bundle. 11:40, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul. At 1 o'clock is Roald Dahl's Matilda the Musical. At 2:45 is the news. That's followed by The King at 3. The Scarecrow's Wedding is at 3:10. Gladiator's Celebrity Special at 3:35. Shaun the Sheep, Fleece Nevaded at 4:35. Weakest Link Christmas Special. 5:30 is Strictly Come Dancing Christmas Special. Michael McIntyre's Christmas Wheel at 6:45. EastEnders at 7:45. Call the Midwife Christmas Special at 8:15. 9:15 is Emma Ladd's Christmas Special. EastEnders at 9:45. 10:15 is Mrs. Brown's Christmas Special. Mrs. Brown's Boys. At 10:45 is the news. 11 o'clock is Absolutely Fabulous. 11:35 is When Harry Met Sally. And at 1:10 is the Hit List. 1:55 Weather for the Week Ahead. 2 o'clock is the news. Meanwhile, let's have a look at see what the treats are at ITV this year on ITV1 on Christmas Day. 6 o'clock is Royal Carols Together at 6. 7 o'clock is Good Morning Britain. 9 o'clock is Lorraine. This Morning is on at 10. 10 o'clock is the Loose Women is at 12. 1 o'clock is James Martin's Christmas Day. The King is at 3. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones. That was shown 41 years ago at 8:30 in the evening, just after they celebrated Eric Morecambe's, after he passed away. They did a Eric Morecambe special, and then that was followed by Raiders of the Lost Ark 41 years ago. That's at 3:10 in the afternoon. 5:25 is the news. It'll Be Alright in the Night at 5:45. 6:15 Emmerdale. 7:15 Coronation Street. 8:15 is Bullseye Christmas Special. The 1% Club Christmas Special was at 9:15. Ramadash's I can't pronounce his name. Parents' Evening Christmas Special at 10:15. 11 is Red One. Now I've not seen this. It was at the cinema last year. So I want to see this, but it's on I think on the Saturday or the Sunday before Christmas Day. So on ITV2. So keep your eyes open for that. 1:35 is Love Actually. 3:30 The King in the morning. 3:40 That's a Repeat. 3:40 Royal Variety Performance. That's another repeat at 3:40 to 5:55 in the morning, and Unwind with ITV at 5:55. Now, I don't normally do BBC Two, but at 9:15 they're showing Jaws, and that's 50 years, and I'm 50, so. And then at 11:15, Jaws at 50, the definitive inside story, and then at 12:40 is, and now for something completely different, Monty Python. What more could you ask? So I didn't do the backflip. Sorry about that. Yes. So we've done Christmas telly 40 years ago, and now I've talked about the 80s Christmas stuff. Yes, I bought this the other day. It's part of an idea I had about doing Secret Santa things, but that's before I got the job thing. So yeah. It stretches everywhere, so I'm going to try and see if I can hide this and see if you can spot it. So I'll put it in my Christmas tree. So yeah. The next video I'm going to be doing is actually talking about the state of Christmas television and what's happened to it, and why our ITV pushing so much rubbish, and BBC. I mean, we pay our license fee, and what do we get? You know, maybe if they didn't waste so much money on decketing, I don't know, Donald Trump's bloody things, but there's one or two little things on this year, but not as probably much as there was 40 years ago. Although we didn't have as many channels as we had 40 years ago. But I'll get into all that in my next video. But yeah, that's how to have an 80s Christmas and Christmas telly, what we were watching last 40 years ago and this year. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again. I'm going to be doing one more video now, and then if I get time before Christmas, a couple of videos then, if I get time. But what I might actually do is record them now so that I can remember them. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this one. And yeah, Merry Christmas.